Hello, and welcome to Dragon Quest VIII. Now, before I gargle my words yet again, because it's the third time that I've tried to record this, I'm just going to start off by creating my character and save us all the pain. Right. Shevsky, I think it's appropriate. Or at least it saves me the hassle of trying to think of an original name. Okay, I'm going to be quiet and let the beginning credits roll. Okay, so there was a little bit of prologue. Again, still in the PS2 rendered videos at the moment. Okay, and here we are. Nice, crisp. Really good looking graphics, actually. I mean, if you look at it, if you just look at the models, and you can tell that they've been made really high quality.
Oi, Gov!
There's the Angus.
It's gonna get dark if we hang about here much longer.
Okay.
Let's head into town. There's better places than this to spend an evening.
Sounds like a great idea. I mean,
Shake a leg,
you
Gov!
could just camp. There are the controls. Yeah, I know all this. So, just to start off, I'll point out I have played this game too many times to count. Probably too many times than it is healthy. But I won't be spoiling anything. I will, however, just give little points that you might want to investigate if you're playing along. So, for example, if I knew there was something good in this barrel, but it was a really easy barrel to miss because, I mean, who thinks to break the barrels? I might just mention something like that. But apart from that, this will be as spoiler-free as I can make it. But let's talk to this guy. Well, that was rude. Okay, let's try Angus. He seems much friendlier.
I've probably said it before, but it beats me how you ended up working for an old codger like him.
That's my boss. Okay.
Not that I can talk, do I? Guess people say the same thing about me. Working for you.
Okay, so I work for the little green guy, and the big strong guy works for me, the lanky guy. Yeah, why not? Okay, it's a video game.
Old codger? I do hope you're not referring to me.
His accent is great. I mean, if you read the book that comes with the game, which obviously I've done way too many times, it points out his accent, his royal accent.
What would you know? A lowlife like you wouldn't recognize nobility if it came up and bit you on the arse.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. He's a noble, apparently.
Enough dilly-dallying. Where's the princess? I can't see her anywhere.
Their relationship doesn't really improve throughout the whole game. They're always at each other's throats. It's great. It's got the name in there, but obviously they can't say it. But it's little touches like that that I love in games. Ooh. Oh god, slimes, they're utterly terrifying.
Here comes trouble, Gov.
Go, Angus. Okay, so again, the models for the slimes. Really high quality. I love it. Other things like the icons for our faces, items, things like that. They're all pictures essentially, so they're going to be lower quality as well. Going over the fighting style of the game, it's turn-based. So you've got flee. You just run away, basically. There are certain fights you can't run away from, but most of them you've got a chance of running away. Sometimes the monsters will stop you. Intimidate is for if you go back to an area that's got weak monsters in it, you can just scare them off. And Tactics is if you're lazy and just want the AI to fight for you, so I can tell Yangus to, do a load of stuff. I've never really used this, but you can obviously, so you can tell him to, I don't know, focus on healing, so he'll become the healer of the party. But it's easier just to control them, and it's much more dynamic that way. But beginning of the game, we'll go through these as you get more stuff. But basically, at this fight, you just spam attack. And so even at this point in the game, they're really weak. Spam attack again. Ooh. So the health isn't always consistent. You saw there that the hero did 6 on both slimes, and he only killed the first one. Experience points, gold. Ooh, and the treasure chest. Medical herb. And that's basically how all the fights work, but they get more and more complicated as you go through the game.
By surprise, but nothing we couldn't handle.
Yeah, you were a real help.
Now, where's the princess? Where's my Medea? My precious one and only daughter.
Right, off to find a princess then? Okay.
Ah, there you are. Thank goodness you're safe, Medea.
And the princess is a horse. Lovely start. Noble troll, horse princess.
Hey, hey, the horse princess is back.
Ah, Yangus.
I say we make a move now, before it gets dark.
And then another little cutscene. So if you don't know anything about the Dragon Quest games, I mean, I'm not that versed in all of them, but I know quite a lot about this one. The art is done by Akira Toriyama, I hope I pronounced that right. And I believe he's the same guy who did the Dragon Ball Z, who's the same artist for Dragon Ball Z. That's mentioned in literally every Dragon Quest VIII Let's Play I've ever seen, so I felt it was necessary to mention it. This is the PS2 version, not the 3DS version, which is released recently. But they're pretty similar, and honestly, from what I've seen, I think I prefer the PS2 version. The 3DS does have a couple more features. I think there's some more battles at the end, but they're completely extra to the story. Yeah. Thankfully, after this bit, the amount of cutscenes will just keep going down until it's only, necessary points. It's not like every time you go into a town you're going to be stuck just watching everyone looking at you. Nice little chat there. Burnt house. Lovely. That's what you really want to see at the start of the game. A lovely, beautiful town and piling crater of ash. Small pile of ash? So, one of those. Here we are, in our first town. And back to beautiful renderedness.
Yes, yes, here we are. If my memory serves me correctly, this is the place.
This is the place.
This is the town where Master Rylus
Ah.
lives.
Hold your horses, Grandad. I thought it was Dolmagus we was after.
I didn't realise we were after anyone. Well, I did, but you didn't.
I am not your granddad. And of
Oh.
course Dolmagus is our man. He's the one who turned Medea and I into such laughing stocks.
Ah. See, now the prologue's making them a lot more sense.
But that dastardly magician can't hide from us forever. We must track him down and lift this confounded curse. Oh, just look at my poor Medea. And we'd only just settled on her engagement to the Prince of Argonia. Oh, that despicable Dolmagus.
Okay, I imagine we're going to find out a bit more about that later.
That's why it's imperative we locate Rylus. Will you go and find him?
This game has a lot of things like this. It's one of these choices that you don't really have a choice from, so I can say no. He'll shake his head, but...
Don't you see? Rylus is the very man who taught Dolmagus his meddlesome magic. There's every chance Rylus will be able to give us a clue as to Dolmagus' whereabouts. That's why you must find him. I'll be waiting for you here.
And there you go. So you've got no choice, you have to go find him. And then if we go run away...
You weren't thinking of going without me, I hope?
No, not at all, Yangus. I just knew you'd follow me.
I'm the best there is when it comes to looking for people.
He looks so
it's
manic.
my instant resistance, as they say.
Okay, and we're off. I've still got my mouse in my pocket. Save my progress. Yeah. Okay, so first town, first bit of being able to roam around. Still can't leave yet, but yeah, we'll be able to soon. So the first thing to do in every town really is to smash everyone's pots and barrels, and basically the same as a lot of RPGs, just go around nicking everything. Yep. I know where to go, obviously, to progress the story, but it's just going to be a lot easier if I clear out the place first. Just so I don't have to do it later. There we go. I'll explain what a lot of these items are as I'm picking them up, I guess. If we have a look at what I've got so far. That seed is used... It is literally what it says. It will basically give you a very small skill buff to some of these skills here, so you can see what that one would do is raise my defense from 11 to, I don't know, let's say 13, which in the grand scheme of things isn't great, but it isn't that much. So it's better to... I always tend to save them and use them later on in the game. And then you've got your armor, bandana. Essentially I've got a helmet and a chest piece at the moment. And then you've got your items for healing, so you've got medical herbs, and then you've got your weapon. Yep. And obviously these all tier up through the game. Go in this well. The wells are always a great place to check in every town. They tend to have something nice in them. There we go. Shield. Yeah, I think that's a hero. You'll notice trends with the characters as well. So, for example, Yangus always has a lot more strength, so his physical attacks are going to be a lot stronger. The hero tends to be all well-rounded. He can heal, he can use some offensive magic. Ooh, some gold. What else can he do? Oh yeah, his defense and health are basically on par with Yangus. So yeah, Yangus can learn some healing magic and things like that, but it requires tearing up a certain skill tree, if you want to call it that. So if I go into here, does it show me it? Oh no, it doesn't. Bottom there. So you see, we've got swords, spears, boomerangs, fisticuffs, and courage. And then for Yangus, you've got Axis, Club, Scythe, Fisticus, and Humanity. And it's the Humanity that if you level it up, you're going to start getting some healing magic with Yangus. Not a great deal. Nothing that's going to be, you know, really great for everyday use, but eventually he gets abilities that can get you out of a pinch. Oh, I thought this guy by accident. No, I just broke into the place. Yeah. Scatterbrain, but I'm the one that's just made off with the bartender's gold. Right here. So the way the battles work in this game is you don't always obviously have the slimes or whatever jumping out at you from bushes. It's random encounters, which again differs from the 3DS version if you've seen that. In the 3DS version, you'll see all the monsters you're ever going to fight. You see walking around the place, and you can just run into them. In this, however, if you're not in a safe area like a town, so for example, I'm in a town at the moment, so I can just run around in circles as much as I like, and I'm not going to get attacked. But if I go into the wilds, then as I walk around, I'll randomly get attacked. And what I'm thinking I might do for that is for people who, I don't know, who are maybe playing the game and just want something on in the background to watch, which is and how I tend to watch a lot of videos, I might include all the battles, but equally for people who are just trying to watch for the story essentially, then I will try and cut them out and end up with kind of 2 videos, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, then I'll, you know, you'll see what I mean when I upload them. Okay. This is actually the tutorial area. If you talk to her, she explains about, you know, how you can open stuff. But you don't need to actually open it. Bookcases, you can read, but the most valuable information you're going to get from that is maybe a tiny bit of backstory, or an important piece of information for something you get later on in the game, which anyone who's played the game, you know what I'm on about, but anyone who doesn't, then you'll find out soon enough. It's fine. It's not important. Basically, it's not important at this point in the game, really. You're not going to miss out, but in the future, you can read them. However, I do have some documents I found somewhere that will basically give you all that information if you don't want to have to try and go through every bookshelf. I don't think I've been in here yet. Just in case there's a important piece of information there. It's just time consuming and annoying after a while because you just end up staring at bookcases and reading a load of text. Especially when you're in the middle of a battle, pick up a book and just start reading it, you know. Town under attack, no problem, just gonna flick through my book. Where else did I miss out? I think I missed out this one, but there you go, this one's locked. Wonder if that's part of a quest. Locked doors, it's gotta be part of the quest. Let's go into the bar now, the proper way around. Love the bar music. Okay, so you can talk to all these people, but I don't think I will. I mean, all there's going to be is me talking to someone and me reading it out. It's not particularly interesting. But here we go. Here's the progression bit.
Haven't you had enough, Mr. Calderasha, sir?
Looks like it. It's got rosy cheeks. That's a clear sign.
I'm sorry, but I've got a business to run. This haphazard fortune-telling of yours is costing me a fortune in free drinks.
I've never really understood that. How on earth is him fortune-telling getting him free drinks? Does he just tell the bartender that in the future he gives him free drinks and it works? It makes no sense. I have never understood that in the countless times that I've played this game. Never once has that made sense to me. Oh well.
What?
My fortune-telling? Haphazard? Are you a complete fool? Let me tell you something for free. All fortune-telling is haphazard.
Oh, dude, you're giving the game away.
What do you expect? Anyway, so what if I saw it? So what?
What the hell's
if
that
I
bartender doing?
foretold the fire? If I tried to stop it, then what?
Okay, so there was a fire. Oh yeah, the house.
It would only have led to another disaster. That's...
I'm sorry, Mr. Calderasher, sir. I don't follow. If you're saying you knew about the fire, shouldn't you at least have warned Master Rylus?
That would seem like a decent thing to do.
Poor Rylus. How many times I argued with the old man. I cannot believe he's gone.
You kind of killed him. I mean, maybe not directly, but indirectly. Oh well, let's see what this drunk guy has to say.
What? What is it? You! Come, show your face to the great Calderasha. Yes, yes.
Kind of looks like he's coming on to us. I mean, I think I'd be pulling the same face that the hero is at the moment.
Quick! Quick! Everyone come quick! There's a monster in town! Just come and see! The whole town's gone crazy!
Okay, so yeah, we get the music's changed. It's all, you know, we're in trouble now. One thing I will point out, because it's another thing that I've always noticed, is essentially this entire world is kind of reminds me a bit of Attack on Titan. If you don't know what that is, it's the anime with the giant people-looking creatures, and humanity basically lives inside a walled-off area. But if you think about it, they've gone berserk because one monster has gotten into town, and you know, as we'll see as we go through the game, the monsters around here are pathetically weak. So I don't understand, if they're so terrified of one monster, then what on earth do they do when they go outside? I mean, do they have to live their entire lives within these, and only a few adventurers and, you know, strong men can go outside and transport, you know, materials and goods and stuff like that? You can see I've had way too much time to think about this game.
What the?
And so here's the other kind of cutscene, if you want. It's rendered in real time, and I imagine the reason for that is you'll see that if I change my weapon, then the weapon will change on his back. So he couldn't have pre-rendered this because it would look really silly. But anyway.
Look lively!
Slowest reaction ever, even if I had pressed it at the right time. That's the slowest reaction ever. Oh yay, it's King Trogue.
He looked at me!
Oh, it's hideous.
Jeez, she didn't sound like much of a look at herself.
Get out! Get out, monster! You're not welcome here!
Oh, that was right on the... Oh, ah!
There we go. The horse has come to protect him. The look of anger in that horse's eye. So, we've been kicked out of our first town. Lovely. Just what you want at the beginning of a game. You're really welcome.
Well, that was a fine reception. Don't they realize who I am?
Ah, sound effects.
Judging a book by its cover, don't they know it's what's inside that counts?
Very true.
Yeah, you can say that again.
You see, that's actually quite a personal thing for Yangus to say there. But again, we'll find out that later.
So then, did you manage to find Master Rylus?
again, it doesn't really matter what we say. If literally whatever we say here, you get the same response. But yep.
What? He's dead? Oh, no, no, no! Well, I suppose there's no point crying over spilt milk. It's Dulmagus we're after. He's the one who cursed the princess and I, after all. He's the one who made us look so ridiculous. I had hoped Rylus might be able to help us locate him.
Makes sense, to be fair.
But it seems we'll just have to track Dulmagus down by
Oh,
ourselves.
darn. Now we have to actually do some work.
With Rylus gone, we have nothing further to gain from staying here. Let's be on our way.
Wait!
Ooh.
Please wait. I'm sorry to come running after you like this. It's just that I wanted to ask you a favor.
Okay, we've never met you before, but okay. Why not? It's an RPG.
Are you not afraid of me, young lady?
I dreamt about you. I dreamt that some people came to town with a strange creature. It was sort of halfway between a human and a monster.
Rude. I mean, geez, you've met the guy, this is the first time you've met him, and that's what you say? After he's just been kicked out of a town? I mean, come on, sensitivity here.
And I dreamt that they could make wishes come true.
Okay. Let's just have a look at the logic here. If you had a dream and then saw someone that, you know, kind of reminded you of someone in the dream, would you assume that they could do what they did in the dream? If I had a dream that I could fly, am I going to jump out of a window the second I wake up? No.
A strange creature? Are you referring to me?
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be rude.
Are you sure about that? I mean, come on. Oh,
Don't
yeah.
worry. I've had worse things said to me today. You know, you remind me of my Medea. You're about the same age.
Fred's easily swayed by girls that remind him of his daughter.
Anyway, you say you had a dream about me. Most peculiar.
I'm sorry. I haven't even introduced myself.
That would be helpful.
I'm Valentina, daughter of the great fortune teller Caldarasha.
And now we know
If
her
you
name,
could
it
just
comes
come
up at the
to my
top.
house, I'll explain everything there.
Great, if you have a really short attention span, just skip through all of the text like I normally do.
It's by the well at the far end of town.
You mean
I'll
that
be
locked
waiting
one?
for you.
What was she rabbiting on about? Come round my house, she says.
Magnificent! She wasn't afraid to look at me at all, not one bit. Oh, she reminds me of my Medea.
Okay.
Must
I
give
don't know
this
who should
young
be more
girl a
insulted there, the
helping
girl that
hand.
you think looks like a horse or the horse that you think... Okay, no. Okay. The girl might be insulted, but I think Medea would be quite pleased.
Right then, my boy. Go and find the house by the well and see what it is she wants. Me? I'll wait here with the princess. We don't want to cause any more of a stir.
And that's where they stay from now on. Every time you go into a town, Troll will wait outside. I mean, you never really see him waiting, but I suppose the only difference is if you have a look here, if you're in the wilderness, Troll will be with, you know, with the Angus here. So if I can just talk to the Angus, it's basically for if you've come back from a save for after a while and you can't remember what the hell's going on in the story, you can ask the other members of your party and they'll basically tell you what you've been doing. But sometimes if you just do it at certain points in the game, it'll give you a bit of a funny insight as to what they're thinking. I don't know how long this has actually been going on for, so I reckon we'll talk to Valentina, see what she wants, and then call it. But okay, oh, she's asleep. This girl's really rude. I've never noticed it before, but yeah, she's really rude. Come to my house. You're there 5 minutes later. Oh, sorry, I just had a little nap. Well, you deserve to get robbed then. mean, let's face it, if we rob her first, then if she throws us out, then we still made a profit from the whole come to my house. Alright, let's talk to her. And there's still a lot of talking, if I remember correctly.
Ah, you came.
Well, some of us are polite and do as we're asked.
I'm so sorry. I must have drifted off. How rude of me.
Yes, very rude, finally.
I wanted to ask you a favor about this crystal ball.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Perhaps I should start from the beginning?
I mean, obviously I know what happens from the beginning. Yeah, fine, let's listen to it all.
Of course. Let me explain. My father, Galdarasha, was once a really famous fortune teller. Lost treasure, missing people. There was nothing the great Galdarasha couldn't help people with. But then one day, he lost his powers. All of a sudden, nothing he foretold turned out to be true anymore.
She has probably the most interesting accent in the entire game. Just trying to think if I can think of anyone else. No, it's probably the most interesting.
It's probably because he stopped using a real crystal ball. This glass ball isn't...
Valentina,
Oh, it's Drunky
what
again.
is going on here? How many times have I told you not to touch my crystal ball? What? Aren't you that boy from the pub? What brings you here? Ah, never mind.
Actually, that's interesting. What's the legal drinking age in Japan? Which is where I believe this game was made. Yeah, I almost certainly swear this game was made. Because in the US, it's 21, isn't it? But here in the UK, it's 18. I mean, the hero kind of looks... Could he be 21? I mean, I say for sure he's at least 18, but I'm not sure. Okay. Or maybe there's no drinking age.
I do not know what my daughter has asked you, but you can forget
You're a
it.
fortune
I
teller.
do not need your help. I am fine as I am.
Yeah, if you're a fortune teller, then never mind. Okay, let's go with it.
I am going to bed. Valentina, say your farewells and show our young visitor to the door.
See, at least he's polite. He doesn't just kick us out when he comes home and finds his daughter with just some random guy. She could really learn from him, despite the fact he's drunk.
I'm sorry about my father. But whatever he says, he's the one who's really suffering since he lost his powers.
Seems okay to me.
That's why I wanted to ask you this favor. Can you find him a crystal ball? One that's big enough to bring back his powers?
And again, a pointless yes or no. Interestingly, here, if you say no, it will kick you out of the conversation and you can run off and do your own merry thing, but you won't be able to advance it anywhere until you come back, talk to her again, and then just say yes. So let's save ourselves the pain.
Really? You will? Oh, this is exactly how it all happened in my dream. So far, everything's come true.
Can you tell us where, whatever.
I also dreamt that there's a crystal ball hidden deep inside the cave, under the big waterfall to the south of town.
And you couldn't get, I don't know, ask a guard if they'd come with you. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was a guy in the inn. There's a guy normally in the inn. He's got a big freaking sword. Couldn't ask him maybe? Just wait for the weird creatures to get kicked out of town?
The daughter of the great Galdarasha could know a thing like that.
Bit full of yourself? Okay, whatever. Right, okay, so she wants us to go get this crystal ball. And I guess that's what we're doing next time. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching, and see you next time.